So off the top today, follow me on Twitter, Rumble, Truth, Getter, and now Parler. Parler's back. I'll tell you more about that from the Tucker Carlson tour. And remember to become a subscriber on Substack and get exclusive content and help support this program every day. We can't do it without your support, and thank you for being here again. So let's get rolling. Today's biggest story is Clueless Democrats, and let me say this. Tim Walz is right. Tim Walz is right. You heard me say it. He's right. We can't afford 4 more years. There's just no way we can afford Democrats staying around. That's what he said 2 days ago in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, where he forgot his lines and lost his train of thought. Lost on no one is the fact that Walz is clueless about who is president, while Kamala Harris has no clue as to what she wants to do as president. And then there's Joe Biden, who has no clue where he is, as he stands next to the Prime Minister of India and shouts, "Who's next?" All three, Walz, Harris, and Biden, lack the presence of mind to lead. All three are the same, for they are intellectually bankrupt and politically void. It's no wonder President Trump has no interest in debating Harris a second time. The last debate ended the debate over Harris's qualifications, revealing her to be shockingly ignorant and dangerously incompetent. What the debate confirmed was the obvious, that Harris is a Democrat who does not care about democracy, that she cares more about saying President Trump is a threat, an existential threat to our democracy, than she cares about stopping those who threaten to kill President Trump. She does not care. She does not care, period. Walz does not care either. He wants voters to believe he cares. He wants us to believe that his values are Midwestern and his politics moderate. Neither is true. He wants us to ignore his words and forget his actions. He has good reason to want these things, given his praise of BLM, his silence about Hamas, and more. He wants us to think of him as America's coach, rather than as a fake populist and a full-time partisan Democrat. He wants us, in other words, to stop thinking. But remember, we can't afford 4 more years. Tim Walz, in his own words. Here he is.
I'll bring her home here quick, folks. Look, Kamala Harris made it clear. These guys want to instill fear. They want to tell you that just get over it. It's a fact of life. This is the way it is. She simply has said it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. We can't afford 4 more years of this, and I've been saying it.
He's right. Or does Walz actually believe we can afford 4 more years of runaway spending and ruinous debt? What, if anything, does he know? What, if anything, does he believe when it comes to the economy or the budget or trade? What's he done in office to be worthy of the office he holds? How does he intend to coach America to solvency or guide the Middle East to peace? Walz won't address these questions, and Harris won't answer them in her sit-down with Oprah. If that's any indication, Harris can't even address someone by their right name. After taking a question in the form of an endorsement from Meryl Streep, whom she refers to as Marilyn, Harris delivers a rant about January the 6th. Forget about jobs or schools or the military. Forget about everything that matters to you, most especially the attempts to assassinate President Trump, because Harris has nothing to say. She has nothing to offer on, well, anything. Listen.
Just taking a step back, and thank you, Marilyn, for just the gift that you give, your talent, your creativity. Thank you for being here. One of the things that I have realized in the course of our campaign is that more Americans than we may realize who voted for Trump before have decided January 6th was just a bridge too far.
Marilyn Streep, there she is. Marilyn Streep. Nice work. Kamala wants us to forget what she has said to date, including her comments to Oprah about gun rights and the Second Amendment. Like Walz, Harris accidentally said something true. She said, if somebody breaks into my house, they're getting shot. She's right. If someone breaks into the Naval Observatory, which is the office and the residence of the vice president, there's more than a possibility that that person will be shot. If someone gets past the Secret Service and the D.C. police while Harris and Emhoff are at home, Doug Emhoff, there's a high probability that shots will be fired. But if someone breaks into your home and you use a firearm to defend your home, a gun you legally own to defend yourself, well, that's too bad. Listen to this.
These are just common sense.
I thought it was so powerful at the convention when you said you have guns. No, at the debate.
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
I did not know that.
If
And I thought
somebody
that was
breaks in
powerful.
my house, they're getting shot.
Yes. I hear that.
Probably should not have said that.
But
My staff will deal with that later.
But you have been a gun owner for a while.
No, she's not. She can claim to be a gun owner, but again, that's just not true. If it is, tell us when you bought it and where, Kamala. Tell us what kind it is, or do you have more than one? Have you been trained? Had a background check? Where is your make-believe gun or gun collection today? I can joke about it, but it's all deadly serious. You see, for us, freedom isn't a joke. The Constitution isn't a theory, and security is no laughing matter. We don't want to live in fear of violent crime or fear those whose job it is to prosecute violent criminals, and yet Harris is a political prosecutor. And I mean this. She would rather prosecute Donald Trump or have her minions persecute him than protect our rights as law-abiding American citizens. When we hear Harris laugh, we worry. When we hear Biden shout, we worry even more. To us, who's next sounds like a threat. Unlike Biden, we don't have an announcer who will intervene, like the Prime Minister of India. We have to suffer through the charade of Biden as commander-in-chief and Harris as his second-in-command. We can't afford 4 more years of this.
So I want to thank you all for being here. And now, who am I introducing next? Who's next?
Distinguished guests, the Prime Minister of the Republic of India.
Remarkably incompetent. Modi was standing right next to him, to his right. Right there. Who's next? This guy has the nuclear codes. What he ought to have is an explanation of the 25th Amendment to the extent that he can understand it. Yeah. We'll take a break.